Tonight, we can report that a massive $2 billion drug network has been exposed, utilizing America's hidden drug highway within the supply chain.
3:47 a.m. A routine checkpoint on Interstate 10. Winter cold settling over asphalt. Nothing suggested what was about to unfold. The semi-truck that rolled to a stop carried certification, valid permits, a driver with 6 years of clean records. Everything looked legitimate, until the K9 unit signaled. What federal agents discovered beneath refrigerated cargo that morning would expose a $2 billion trafficking infrastructure hidden inside America's supply chain for nearly a decade. If you're still watching, tap like now. What came next changed how federal authorities view domestic logistics forever. By sunrise, more than 300 agents from FBI, DEA, Homeland Security investigations, and U.S. Marshals would execute coordinated strikes across 12 states. The seizure totals: 52 tons of methamphetamine, $112 million in laundered capital, 180 suspects detained. But the real discovery wasn't in the trucks. It was buried 14 feet underground, stretching nearly a quarter mile beneath Texas soil. The company was called Atlas National Logistics, ranked in the top 2% of freight carriers nationwide, operating for 15 years, employed 500 drivers, held contracts with Walmart, Costco, Kroger. On paper, it was American capitalism functioning exactly as designed. But federal prosecutors now allege it was a front, purpose-built by cartel operatives to move industrial quantities of narcotics through the heartland without detection. The investigation began 18 months earlier, not with a tip, not with surveillance footage, with a single wire transfer that Treasury analysts flagged during routine financial monitoring. $340,000 moved between shell corporations in 3 countries within 11 minutes. That anomaly triggered Operation Silent Corridor. For months, agents worked backward, tracing shipments, cross-referencing delivery logs, watching trucks that arrived on time, every time, with surgical precision. The company wasn't sloppy, it was meticulous. And that perfection, that flawless compliance, became its vulnerability. Comment exposed if you believe this level of coordination required insider protection. 2:17 p.m., Saturday afternoon. A refrigerated semi pulls over for a standard commercial inspection outside San Antonio. The driver hands over paperwork. Manifest shows 25 tons of fresh produce. Tomatoes, lettuce, route scheduled for Midwest distribution. Everything clears. Then the dog sits. Refuses to move. Officers unload crates. Check walls. Find nothing. A density scanner is deployed. The floor reads 3.5 inches thicker than standard trailer construction. Bolts removed. Panels pried open. Beneath the refrigerated deck, 100 kilograms of pure methamphetamine, vacuum sealed, numbered like warehouse inventory, hidden inside a custom fabricated compartment. Street value, $8 million. From one truck. The driver, hands shaking, keeps repeating the same words: "I deliver lettuce. I've been running this route for 6 years." He wasn't lying. Federal agents later confirmed he had logged 620,000 miles without incident. Passed every inspection. Passed every drug test. He had no idea what was beneath his feet. The compartment could only be accessed by removing cargo pallets in a specific sequence, a sequence only the loaders knew. The floor was mounted on hydraulic supports calibrated to avoid triggering weight sensors. That realization sent a chill through the command room. If this truck existed, there had to be others. Tap like if this shocks you. Imagine what's still hidden. Within hours, the investigation expanded. Agents executed simultaneous strikes at a luxury apartment in Houston, encrypted laptops for $0.7 million in cash hidden in false-bottom furniture, a warehouse in Corpus Christi, shipping containers with concealed compartments, precursor chemicals, industrial packaging equipment, a front business in Dallas, ledgers detailing profit distribution, prepaid cards, money counting machines. A safe house in San Antonio, 14 individuals detained, restraints recovered, forged immigration documents seized. By nightfall, 27 locations had been breached across Texas alone. The surface operation had been dismantled, but the real discovery was still underground. But the real operation wasn't on the highways. Federal intelligence units identified coordinates that didn't match any registered infrastructure. Corpus Christi, a small logistics facility near the port, registered as secondary cold storage, operating for 7 years. Passed inspections annually. Agents moved in at dawn. Behind a reinforced steel door disguised as climate control access, they found stairs descending into concrete. What emerged from the darkness defied scale. A purpose-built underground corridor, not a drainage system, not storm infrastructure. A 1,400-foot tunnel large enough to move palletized cargo at industrial speed. Reinforced walls, independent power supply, ventilation systems, battery backups. This was not makeshift. This was engineered. The tunnel ran from the warehouse to an unregistered coastal access point, bypassing every port, every checkpoint, every federal monitoring system designed to prevent exactly this. Analysts estimate that 30 to 40 tons of narcotics per year moved through this corridor without ever appearing in official records. Inside, agents discovered financial evidence, handwritten ledgers tracking shipments by coded destination, offshore account statements tied to shell companies in Cyprus, Panama, Cayman Islands, cryptocurrency wallet codes worth $47 million, wire transfer receipts showing payments to officials, operational documents, route maps with delivery schedules, distribution memos listing priority corridors, inventory logs numbering shipments like state property, payment schedules for corrupted personnel, digital evidence, encrypted smartphones with bypass security, laptops containing spreadsheets detailing profit splits, surveillance footage showing loading operations, email chains referencing protected routes. But one document stopped investigators cold. A 73-page operational blueprint titled Project Permanence, Phase 3 Expansion. It outlined logistics for scaling the network into 6 additional states by 2027, contingency protocols for leadership changes, and a list, 20 names, of officials who had intervened, directly or indirectly, to protect the operation. No cash bribes, no envelopes, just pressure, phone calls, introductions, doors quietly opened. One line from the document became Evidence Exhibit A. By 2029, the system will be self-sustaining and beyond federal reach. Type justice if every official who enabled this should be prosecuted. The names on that list represented something worse than crime. They represented betrayal. Compromised officials included 2 narcotics task force officers, 1 state patrol trooper, 2 ICE field agents, 1 assistant county prosecutor, 3 port authority inspectors, 1 state legislative aide. Payments ranged from $12,000 to $95,000 per month, delivered through consulting contracts. Advisory fees, phantom real estate transactions. Recovered communications showed how deep the rot went. Leaked message, intercepted June 2024, federal sweep planned Friday morning. Advise relocation. Translation, move the drugs before the raid. Leaked message, intercepted September 2024, indictment draft under review. Will stall filing until Q2. Translation, bury the case. Leaked message, intercepted November 2024, shipment next week. Same protocol, don't open. Translation, let the container pass without inspection. These weren't criminals operating in shadows. They were officials operating within the system, using their authority to dismantle it from the inside. One veteran investigator described it bluntly. This wasn't corruption. This was infrastructure. He didn't just operate here. He owned it. Comment, complicit, if you're still paying attention. These names need to be public. The tunnel was the entry point. The trucks were the distribution system. But the network stretched far beyond Texas. Federal tracking software mapped shipments across Miami, coastal distribution hub, Houston, primary inland gateway, Los Angeles, West Coast terminus, Chicago, Midwest Logistics Center, Atlanta, Southeastern Corridor, New York, East Coast final delivery. International connections traced back to Colombia, production origin, Mexico, overland transit routes, Panama, offshore financial clearing, Dubai, money laundering infrastructure, Cayman Islands, asset concealment. The operation generated $620 million over 7 years. Laundered through legitimate business expenses, inflated refrigeration repairs, phantom maintenance contracts, consulting fees paid to mailboxes. Each transaction kept under $48,000, carefully below automatic federal reporting thresholds. Individually harmless. Together, a river. And the human cost? Between 2017 and 2024, counties directly served by Atlas priority routes recorded 430,000 meth-related overdoses. 112,000 were fatal. In cities where Atlas trucks made weekly deliveries, overdose deaths rose 68% faster than comparable regions. Emergency rooms with 6 beds suddenly treating 30 patients in a single night. Grandparents raising grandchildren after entire households collapsed. This wasn't an epidemic that spread randomly. It followed roads. It followed schedules. It followed trucks. Share this video. They count on your silence. 4 a.m., January 15, 2025. Across 12 states, unmarked vehicles moved into position. Highway exits sealed. Way stations activated. Federal task forces deployed. The shutdown was surgical. Within 6 hours, 53 trucks stopped and seized. 9 tons of narcotics recovered from vehicles alone. $112 million in accounts frozen. 180 suspects detained. At the San Antonio headquarters, executives in tailored suits were forced face down on polished floors. In Corpus Christi, the tunnel entrance was breached. Inside, 1.3 tons of methamphetamine stacked on pallets, ready for transport before sunrise. By noon, the operation was dismantled. Final tallies: 52 tons of methamphetamine seized, 1.7 million pills removed from circulation, $2 billion street value. Cartel communication networks collapsed. Within 72 hours, street prices for meth spiked 300% in multiple regions. Supply had vanished faster than demand could adapt. Over 8,400 active distribution nodes went silent within 24 hours. For the first time in years, some communities could breathe. Emergency rooms reported a 22% drop in meth-related admissions within 2 weeks. Law enforcement noted declines in drug-fueled burglaries and assaults. Atlas National Logistics ceased to exist. Operating licenses revoked. Assets seized. Properties fenced off. The logo, once seen on highways across America, was erased as if it had never existed. But the damage was already written into the roads. Child welfare agencies reported a 41% increase in removals along former Atlas corridors. Foster systems collapsed under strain. In one Midwestern county, nearly 1 in 4 children entering state care had a parent with documented meth exposure linked to delivery timelines matching Atlas shipments. Conservative modeling suggested the network contributed to over 190,000 premature deaths nationwide across 7 years. Not through violence, through quiet repetition. A truck, a route, a delivery. Charges filed under RICO statutes, Trafficking Victims Protection Act, federal narco-terrorism laws, conspiracy to traffic controlled substances, money laundering statutes, sentences ranging from 20 years to life imprisonment. No plea agreements, no political compromise. The evidence was exhaustive, the paper trail unbroken. This is not an outlier. This is a warning. What happened in Texas is happening everywhere. The United Nations estimates 40 million trafficking victims worldwide. Annual criminal revenue, $150 billion. Operating in every country, in wealthy neighborhoods and poor ones. Behind the walls of homes, businesses, institutions that look legitimate. How did it survive? People looked away. Officials accepted bribes. Employers wanted cheap labor and didn't ask questions. Systems designed to protect were compromised by those who valued profit over human life. The fight continues. Additional networks have been identified. Investigations are expanding. The networks are adaptive, they change methods, routes, cover stories. But every exposure makes the next one harder to hide. Hit like so this story escapes the algorithm that buries uncomfortable truths. Comment your thoughts below, say what you really think about how this was allowed to operate for so long. Share this with someone who thinks our supply chain is secure. They need to see how easily trust can be weaponized. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. The fight continues. And it needs you to speak. Every voice makes these networks harder to hide. Justice requires witnesses. Accountability demands attention. This is not the end of the story.